Test 1, test 2, test 3. It should provide a little bit better audio. Cool. Give a minute or two for a few more folks to join. We're going to have a lot of people missing today because of the ICANN meeting. If you're here, please share a video if possible. Make this a meeting around a table as best we can. All right, our join rate has slowed. I will go ahead and get started. Given the set of people that I'm seeing online today, I think we can get by mostly with just double checking, mostly with just pointing to the notes and asking if there are questions and not having super detailed read-throughs of each section unless there are questions for them. So I'm expecting the call will go fairly quickly. If there's something that is not currently discussed in the notes that you want to discuss today, feel free to bash that in either by adding it to the notes, making a comment in the chat, or just opening up and speaking into the Medico session. So do feel free to just jump in at any time. Hi Jay, didn't expect to see you. I thought ICANN would have taken you today. All right, we're going to start with our hot topics. People saw we had a data tracker deploy last week that we had to roll back. We successfully finished the deployment a little bit later in the week after making some changes to things that we discovered that weren't working right. That forced the rollback, mostly around dealing with the cache. Local memory cache, we discovered between the deployment last Thursday and yesterday that we had another issue with the use of the local memory cache that we addressed with the deployment today. So features have been coming in. The deployment with last week, of course, was the Django 4 deployment, which, aside from the stutters around this cache, seems to be going very well. And the 11.1.0 deployment today is brought in extra features, the feature work that had been happening while we were getting the 11.0 release deployed. Anybody have any questions about our Django 4 release and where we are with deployments? All right. The next item is serving DNS from Cloudflare. We have moved the registration of the set of domains in the ticket that's linked in the notes completely. The only one that's left is IETF.org. It is underway. We shifted DNS for IETF.org to Cloudflare yesterday. We're ironing a few edge cases out from having made that move during the day today. Some domains that were beyond just 3 tuples required some adjustments to how Cloudflare is dealing with the certificates. That's why we were seeing some things around XML to rfc.tools.ietf.org break. It's a good opportunity for people that were running into that to go change their XML to rfc.tools.ietf.org links to the bib.ietf.org. We're expecting the move of IETF.org to complete within the next 3 to 5 days. And it looks like it's going to land fairly smoothly. If there aren't any other questions about that, I'll note that we are continuing with the plan that we discussed at the last tools team meeting for archiving our wikis, the older wikis and the older technologies that we're moving away from. Specifically, we will work with the Internet Archive to make sure that those wikis are crawled before we take them offline. That is waiting to happen. I'm going to work with Alexis to make sure that the archive is seeded with the appropriate set of entry URLs to crawl. So, Kasara, you want to talk about where we are with the IAB website?
Yeah. So we are in the final phase of sorting out the use interface issues on the new vector website instance for IAB. The plan is to probably deploy this into the production servers by next week, and then we can move forward with moving all the data from all websites to that one. On the data tracker side, I don't think the minutes are still available there, right, Robert? But the script is there to.
The management command that will move the IAB minutes over was deployed today. I will run that command a little bit later in the day. It will populate the minutes and only the minutes from the WordPress instance into the data tracker. The other artifacts like the appeals and statements are still works in progress.
Yeah, so that's it. Anybody have any questions about those?
All right. So Jay notes with the IETF trust tools changes that we're waiting for the trust to address feedback that was raised on the list. The rest of this is the FYI information. It's basically people can read what is on the notes so far, and give people a few minutes to skim through those things, instead of doing the walkthrough, given who's on the call today. The if any section, if you see a question about anything that's in any of these sections, go ahead and raise it now. If you have a question later, you can raise it on the discuss list. One thing I would like to call out, welcome Joe Clark, who's taking on the lead coordination role for the Yang Catalog project. You'll see the notes that he and Eric added, to what is happening in the Yang Catalog at the moment. Joe, if you've got anything you want to add on that, feel free. If you are connected, and I think you are, also be nice to pop on and say hi if you can.
Yeah, long time user. My video, I guess my browser doesn't allow permission. Anyway, long time user, first time participant on this call. I'm the maintainer of XML to RFC for the FreeBSD project. So there's that. I just updated to 3.17.3 today. So definitely use FreeBSD and definitely use XML to RFC there. And as Robert pointed out, Eric gave me Yang Catalog to look after. I've been traveling a lot lately, so I haven't really gotten my bearings there, but I have been keeping up with some of the administrivia on the catalog and watching what Pantheon is doing. So if there are any issues, anything I need to take back to them, let me know. There was a minor, mostly internal release to the module compilation backend that I posted in our notes there. And they rev front end, but there were no changes to the front end. So it's mainly just improvements, some testing improvements. That's about it. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you. So anyone else on the call that has provided content, if there's something that you want to point to in particular, now's a good time. And if anyone has anything else they'd like to discuss, go ahead and bring it up now. All right. I hope everyone's preparations for IETF 117 are going well. Please note the time of next month's call, and if you have something that you want to start discussing, please don't wait for next month's call to start. Start the discussion on list. If we end up with a topic that needs face time before we get to next month's call, it's easy enough to set up one of these interim sessions. So unless somebody else has something to bring up, I think we'll call it a very quick meeting. And thanks everyone for continuing to help make sure that we're taking the tools in the right direction. All right, thanks everybody. You have a great day.